Hello and welcome, fellow sovereigns. And today's talk is sponsored by Babe Ruth. Not that he knows about it because he's dead. Anyway, I guess you've all heard the story about Albert Einstein, who was trying to invent the electric light bulb. And he had invented 1,000 failures or something, and people told him, time to give up, you've had 1,000 failures. And his attitude was, well, each failure is another step towards success. And so he rejoiced in each failure because he knew he was getting closer. And he invented them, and there they are. They're everywhere. And the other one is the Colonel, KFC. Colonel, anyway, I won't say that other one that us Kiwis use. And I think it was 1,009 times he got turned down. So he went out on the road, knocking on doors, knock, knock, knock. Would you like to buy my recipe? Would you like to buy my recipe? Would you like to buy my recipe? And he did that 1,009 times. I'm sure that's the number. And he got told no 1,009 times, but he still kept going. And eventually on the 1,010th time, somebody said, this looks like a good idea, I'll take it on. And so now we have KFC everywhere, like light bulbs. They're everywhere. So the other one is Babe Ruth, who was a baseball player way back. I don't know when, the 50s, I think. And Babe Ruth is famous because at the time he had the record for the most home runs. And if you don't know anything about baseball, if you don't know what baseball is, just take it from me that a home run is the best thing you can do. It's what's called a success. And so Babe Ruth, he had the record for the most home runs, the most successes in that game. What he's not famous for, in the sense that most people don't know, is that he also had the most strikeouts. And for those non-baseball people, a strikeout is the worst thing you can do. It's a failure. So he had the record for the most failures. But he wasn't known for that. He was known for his home runs, for successes. The other thing was that he actually had more strikeouts than he had home runs. He had more failures than he had successes. And yet he's still hailed as a success. So it doesn't seem to matter whether it's in science, business, sport, or wherever. The number of times that Winston Churchill got failed, if you like, stood for Parliament and stood for whatever and got turned down or not voted in. And Abraham Lincoln was another. So whatever field we're talking about, science, sport, politics, business, anything, failure is a part of success. And if you're not ready to take on failure or accept that failure is going to happen, success ain't going to happen. It's just how the system's built. The trial and error thing. We're all giving it a go. Well, those who are giving it a go are giving it a go and usually end up with success eventually. It knocks on your door and goes, I've heard you 1,000 times. And you've been making failures, but today is your success day. And eventually the door opens and away we go. And we can always blame our parents and always blame our schools, and we can blame all of those who instructed us in the mindset that failure is a bad thing. And we're going to do the blame thing. Whoopee. Well, we're big people now. We can make our own minds up. We're not living at home. We're not at school. And so let's just let the blame go and get on with it and just go, well, I'm making my own rules today. I'm allowed to fail. In fact, I'm going to fail because at the end of failure, and I don't know whether that's in 10 minutes, another day, another year, but I will keep failing until I succeed. So let's just let go the supposed conditioning that we have, because everyone blames, parents and our schools and that for saying, oh, well, we had this paradigm that you're not allowed to, that failing is a bad thing and we shouldn't try because we might fail. Rah-de, 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 rah. Ah, we're big people. Let's get over that. Let's make our own rules and say failure's fine. I remember somebody saying that they were confused about the fuel gauge on their car, because they couldn't work out why the car wouldn't go because it was down on E, which they thought E meant enough, and they thought F meant failure. So we can make up the rules as we go along. So let's make up the rules today that failure is fine. That's what F stands for. Failure is fine. Fantastic. All of that sort of stuff, because failure will then lead to success. And that's what we want. So whether we're talking about fear of failure or fear of success, it's all the same thing. We can make up our own rules. So I'm just going to make this short, leave it there, and wish you a merry dance with fate. But in the meantime, let's have a lot more success, a lot more failures. And I wish you lots of failures today. Whoopee! And I bless you and all who sail in her.